That's the finished product. You got a jar of homemade Tallow Balm. Welcome back to the Dad Days, everyone. If this is your first time finding my channel, I'm Josh. I make sourdough, whole foods, and non-toxic living simple and easy to learn and apply to your own life. I have the kitchen set up and ready to film, so let's get into it. Okay, so today we are going to be making a homemade tallow balm. So we just finished ours this morning. I'm going to be using a ratio of a cup of tallow. I have about probably not even a tablespoon of castor oil left in this jar. I'll be using the rest of the castor oil and a little bit of coconut oil. Some essential oil, which is optional. It purely is just to add a fragrance to the tallow balm. I use blood orange and vanilla, and it smells exactly like a creamsicle. It smells absolutely delicious. Like you could eat this stuff, and you basically can because it's such high quality ingredients. But so all you do is you take a cup of tallow. I have it chunked up here into little bits, as you can see. I buy my tallow in big jars, quart containers like this from a local farm that's close to my parents' house. And all you do is you melt the tallow, ideally in a pan on the stove. You can use a double boiler on low heat on the stove, or you can, if you really have to, you can use the microwave. I don't really recommend that. I try and stay away from the microwave as much as possible, but it is possible. You can use the microwave if you want. Once the tallow is melted, all you do is let it sit in a pan until it starts to firm up just a little bit, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like once we get into the process. And then that's when you'll add your other oils, whether it be castor oil or coconut oil or olive oil or whatever other oil that you're going to be using with the tallow. Just a good ratio is if you use 1 cup of tallow, you would use about 2 to 3 tablespoons of some other type of oil that is softer. It helps the tallow balm not get so firm once it comes back to room temperature after you've melted it and added your other ingredients to it. So enough talking, let's get into it. We need to melt the tallow, and then I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, as you can see, the tallow has been liquefied. It is completely melted. So now you just want to let it sit for a couple minutes until it just slightly starts to congeal back up. And that's when you add the rest of your oils that you're going to be adding. And then you just keep whisking it until it completely congeals back up. But it's going to be in a softer state than when it was just a brick of tallow or room temperature tallow. And then you'll be able to easily put it in jars, or however you want to use it. You can put it in whatever kind of container you're going to use. So we will check back at that point. You can see it's starting to firm up. It's been a few minutes. You just want to add a few drops of each essential oil, the rest of the castor oil, which isn't much, a teaspoon maybe, and the coconut oil. It's nothing super precise. It's just it'll continue to get firmer as it congeals and gets closer to room temperature. But like I said, if you anywhere from a half a cup to a cup of tallow, you use 1 to 3 tablespoons of a softer oil, whether it's coconut oil or castor oil or olive oil, whatever you prefer. You can kind of play around with it and create your own tallow balm that to your preferences, however it feels on your skin and the firmness that you prefer depending on what application you are using it for. You can use a little bit less of the soft oil and have it a little more tallow based, and it works great for even a lip balm if it's a little firmer of a balm. And that's really all there is to it. And it makes a great lotion. I really like it because it doesn't feel too greasy. It doesn't leave your hands super slimy, or your legs or arms or whatever. It's just has a really nice feel to it. And it's so much more affordable than if you were to buy a jar of handmade tallow balm from another company. There's great companies out there, but you're looking at least 15 to 30 bucks per jar. I can get my big quarts of tallow for $8 from my local farm, and you can get high quality coconut oil, castor oil, whatever you use. When you break it down, once you have the ingredients, it is so much more affordable to make your own. And it's so simple. You can easily use the exact same recipe, but add zinc oxide. You can buy high quality powdered zinc oxide and add to it and make your own sunscreen for summertime. There's a lot of directions you can go with it. I highly recommend you give it a try, source some good high quality ingredients, and I promise you will enjoy your very own tallow balm. So I'm just going to put it in the jar now, and I'll show you what that looks like. That's the finished product. You got a jar of homemade tallow balm. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you make it yourself. As always, stay tuned for more Dad Days.